Welcome to the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. Whether inside or outside the loop, we are talking everything soccer in Houston. Y'all ready? Let's get it. Houston, welcome to another episode of the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. Thanks for joining us for another week of excitement, sadness, mixed emotions is what I'm naming this podcast episode. So to find out what we're doing today, I got my two friends, Cristian Putelias. Brother, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? How you doing, Rudy?
Not too bad, man. We'll get through all the stages of sadness, emotion, grief, whatever it goes through here. But we're also joined by no one else than Joey Stats Chavala. Brother, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Hello, gents.
Not too bad. Hey, we had a long weekend. One thing that we forgot to mention last episode was the fact that it was a 3-day weekend for a lot of people with Labor Day. I love the fact that we celebrate Labor Day by not working. It's great. It's fantastic. If you didn't work, Chris, you probably had to work double shift. Yeah, man, it's crazy. You have any fun stories from your Labor Day work day?
Well, one of the guys working with me, he was like, "So, what do we celebrate today?" I was like, "We celebrate us working, basically." And he was like, "Oh shit!" So that was like the extent of the conversation. He didn't know what Labor Day was. I was like, "We're celebrating that you have a job and I gave you the shift."
Right.
So
there you
be
go.
happy.
Do you guys get paid any extra time? Like
time and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Yes, I miss those days. What about you, Joe? Man, you had to work on Monday?
No, I did not. I was off. I was relaxing.
Relaxing.
As the Lord commanded.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, it was for me. It was a spontaneous road trip, and it was fine, except for having to drive 5 hours one way, 5 hours the other way. It's not that great, and especially like that I'm used to going to bed like around 9:30, like an old man that I am. I did not do that this whole weekend. So, it was pretty much till 1 a.m. every time. But everybody seemed to have fun. The kids had fun. They got to see some cousins and stuff. So overall, can't complain, man. Love for me, it was a 4-day weekend because I had like a day one of those days that if you don't take it, you lose it type of thing. And so I put it for Friday. So I was like,
there you go.
So I got to chill Friday and then started driving at 5 o'clock. So didn't get to my place till the destination till like 11:30. So it was one of those trips. Man. But I'm glad everybody back. Jay Hurtado, what's up, brother, man? What's up to you? We do have a lot of Houston sports talk to touch on. I guess we were going to start with Dash, but I forgot. Obviously, Houston Dynamo 2 did not play. They'll be back in action on the 8th, what is that, Sunday? Yes. Yeah, right, Sunday. So, yeah, they'll be back in action Sunday. We're hoping, and at this point, it'd probably be a standalone episode, but maybe getting to chat with Osman Silla. The guy has been scoring like a madman with Houston Dynamo 2 after winning what did Dustin call it, the soccer Heisman Trophy, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
With Clemson, obviously he had a really, really good career there in general, and obviously a great 2023 year. What's up, Chris?
No, I was gonna say, I'll be honest, like in the beginning of the season, it to me personally, maybe other people saw it, but it was kind of hard to like put those two things together, him winning that trophy and him the way that he was playing. It just kind of seemed kind of weird because he wasn't playing that great to my opinion. I feel like there was a switch in positioning of where he was playing in the beginning of the season to where he's playing now. I feel like he's more centered, more like a 10-ish in a way. So I think it gives him the freedom to be more of a 10 in a way, right? To create, to give passes, to feed other players. I mean, Gabe Siegel with a bunch of goals, the guys on the wings. And this is where you see where that trophy kind of, comes into play, and you're like, well, this kid is pretty good. Like, we even had a whole discussion about him breaking into the first team. Is it too soon? Is it, maybe the right time type thing? But I think, the trophy may be well deserved.
Yeah, and I think that conversation will continue once we get a little deeper into this podcast and updating some injuries and all that crazy stuff that happened Saturday for sure. Joey, just a little bit. Chris touched on the fact that he was playing out of position. What is his natural position? What did he play in college? Was it mostly striker or was it number 10?
It was winger and 10. I mean, the way he's playing now, he's kind of it's almost like copy and pasting what the Dynamo are doing. He's pretty much playing what Coco's role is.
Okay.
Where he plays on the wing and he inverts into a dual 10 for that, create that 4-man midfield. I mean, it's the other way around, because in the way the Dynamo do it, it's Dorsey as the right back who bombs up as the right winger. With Dose, it's Kieran Sargent who's left-footed, so he plays left back, and then what's the guy's name? The right back who inverts as a center back. Was it Isaac? Isaac. That one made the Austrian.
Awudesu and Katuya.
Isaac Mukutu something.
Yeah,
I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. My bad, dog.
My apologies to Isaac. Yeah. So that's kind of like the opposite of the way the Dynamo does with the sides. But yeah, he's coming inside. He's getting opportunities to create scoring opportunities for himself and others, and having Gabe Siegel, who's a pretty legit striker at that level when it comes to off-ball positioning, it creates a lot of chaos. I mean, Siegel's let show the end product at a high first-team level, but, I mean, he's, 24, playing against some kids, He's running rings around them.
Yeah, and like specifically Silla, if you guys remember, he started, we saw him on the bench in the beginning of the season a lot for the first team. He obviously never got any much playing time. I think he did get a debut in, was it MLS? No, he played some minutes. I can't remember if it was Champions Cup. Yeah.
Did he?
I think he came in Champions Cup.
Might have been that. I don't remember.
But he was riding the bench earlier in the season because of Vasi being injured and a couple guys being out. But anyways, where I was, obviously another one that looks like to be getting healthy is Exon.
Oh yeah, he did. He played against the Crew.
See, sometimes I feel like my memory still works.
Rudy stats.
All right. I don't know about stats, but sometimes. Sometimes, like just wind it back a little bit. I mean, that was February, for God's sakes. That was like 7 months
February? Ago. No, it was March 13th.
There you go.
That was 2 years ago.
The real stat man has corrected your stat.
There you go. Thank you, sir. But yeah, so obviously, again, he's not one that hasn't been mixed with the first team, and maybe with things happening the way they are, Exon Arce looks like he's getting back into fitness form or working to get back into it. I mean, he was killing it with Houston Dynamo 2 before he got injured. He's been out for about a month or two, right?
Longer than that.
Yeah, and so
like May.
Yeah, it was I think a foot injury was what Kenny Bundy had mentioned, or I think a couple times. Some people have mentioned the fact that he had like a foot injury, which, I mean, for the guy being so fast, anytime that you hurt one of your tools, man, it's gonna be kind of crazy. But again, Houston Dynamo 2, they'll be playing at home against Ventura FC, as you see down below, September 8th, 6 p.m. here in Houston at SaberCat Stadium. If you guys have never been to see Houston Dynamo 2, I highly suggest that you guys make it out there. It's a free event. You just go to SeatGeek, you click or search Houston Dynamo 2, and you can get as many tickets as you want to get your family in. Parking is not free. That's the only downside, but go out there. You get some pretty good soccer. I mean, every time I've gone there, it's been pretty good. Whether it be Dynamo playing well or the other team scoring goals, it doesn't matter, but you get some goals, man. And of course, if you're maybe wanting to run into some of the first team players, they tend to always make an appearance. I have not been to a game that they are not there. So just FYI, that's a shout out that we'll do right now for Dynamo 2 as they look to get back into business, man. But okay, now we go back and we hit on Houston Dash. What a show. I'll try to censor myself most of this episode.
No, it's impossible.
Especially this segment in particular of a Houston Dash. But man, what is happening, man? It's a circus. They show that they're the bottom feeders. They lose to the last team in the table, and now they're sitting lonely down there. Full on blown explosion of the rosters happening. Joey, did you get to watch this game? Did you want to watch this game?
I didn't watch the whole thing.
Okay, good.
I watched the first half.
I just skipped through it through Food Mob and making our graphics for Bayou City Soccer, and I was like, dang, this is getting out of. It started nice. I heard there was an own goal. It was going to be 1-0 for the Dash, and it came back because of offside. But just your thoughts, man. I guess overall on this match, kind of like the result out of it. We'll go from there.
I mean, that's really all there is to it. You lose 3-1 at home to Utah, who have been absolutely just terrible this season. I mean, there's nothing positive about it. I mean, the Dash won the possession battle. That's about the only positive I could think of there. They went with some different things in the lineup again. They brought back in Alozi instead of Diana. And just like the other bunch of times that Ricky started Alozi over Diana, it didn't work. Also, the times he starts Diana, it also doesn't work. So I guess
he's trying.
You give him something for trying something new. But yeah, it's Alozi's she's just not a striker. I don't think she's a good player, period, especially when you put her out of position. I think Diana's at least shown in the past that she's a good soccer player. I think Alozi's just a terrible player, whether you play her right back, right wing, striker. She's just not cut out for NWSL, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, it's just weird lineup decisions after weird lineup decisions. Andressa scored a goal. I didn't know she knew how to do that. That's her first. That's her second goal this year.
Yeah,
in a lot of games. It's for somebody who's supposed to come in and be a little bit of a stud last year. That's disappointing.
According to Foot Mob, it's just one.
Yeah,
she scored in the Leagues Cup knockoff.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Gotcha. She almost scored last game too when she hit the post, but I guess those don't show up on
those
stats,
don't. I guess those don't count. Yeah.
Those
usually the ones that go in, right?
Yeah.
Usually only when the ball crosses the line. I don't know. I thought Olivieri had another good game. She just earned a contract. That was I think that's a good sign. I think she's had a pretty good season, all things considered.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. I mean, we've had this conversation. Even Chris, we talked last episode about the new CBA, like the draft being gone. It's stuff that tend to be able to help crappy teams like the New York Jets for such a long time. Joey, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
But in reality, man, this is just not looking good because your trades are being made, right? And I have that graphic here somewhere of like the two players that got traded. Courtney Peterson got traded to Racing Louisville, I believe, and Sophie Hurst was sent to Portland Thorns.
Yeah.
I mean, we can certainly say like maybe Sophie Hurst, she didn't really play much. She hasn't done much. Peterson has been playing a lot just because there's not really another option out there.
Yeah.
But you're not really losing anything special with these two ladies, going elsewhere. And the amount of magical money that you win, it's all allocation money, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they're gaining. So, I mean, clearly they're seeing that they have an influx of players, and I mean, you look at the squad, and there's a lot of players in the squad. None are very good, but there's a lot of players there, so you're able to, deal some of these players out and try to get something out of it as you're trying to build this roster. But My biggest question here, Joey, is who the hell is doing all these deals? Like, there has to be
They
because a
have like
lot
an
of
interim GM from like,
right. What's his name? He used to play with the Dynamo, didn't he?
yeah. What the hell's
Eric
his name?
Oscar?
Utskrecht, something like
They
that.
posted about it. I don't remember
Is
the
it
guy's
Oscar
name.
Boniak Garcia?
I wish.
Might as well
Yeah.
have his kids play for the Dash.
The Dash needs some Hondurans. That's what they need.
Right. But yeah, so of course they haven't announced that there's an intermin
¿Qué pasó? Intermittent fasting?
general manager. They haven't announced that, I don't believe, but I think Dustin was at the game and he saw him, spotted him talking to Juan Pablo, can't think of the last name, but their technical director.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly they're working together and getting some of these things right, but it's just when you have nothing official, you don't have a coach currently here, or hell,
I think this is
there.
them just getting ready to blow it up. That's what it should be.
Are they moving this team to Jacksonville? That's my question.
Nice.
It's gonna be
Save
a
us
US,
the headache.
USL team.
They just got rid of 2 players that add absolute zero value to the roster. I mean, it was funny. We were talking in the chat, looking at Sophie Hurst's stats the other day. Listen to this, guys. For a midfielder, she completes 66.9% of her passes as a midfielder. That is the 3rd lowest percentage pass rate in NWSL for midfielders. This is in 2023, by the way, because she hasn't played enough minutes to have stats in 2024. And the lowest in 2023 is actually Joelle Anderson, interestingly enough. So 2 Dash players at the bottom. She averages less than 0.2 progressive carries a match. Less than 4 progressive passes a match. She is literally like bottom percentile of just about every single stat you want as a midfielder. So you're pretty much putting her out there and she just walks around and does nothing. She contributes absolutely nothing.
That's pretty crazy. Like I said, I would say Courtney Peterson obviously was more essential just because she had a lot of games under her belt this season and since she arrived.
Wasn't very good in them.
I totally agree. Like I said, it's just more the fact that you kept seeing her at a starting position, clearly giving her a little bit of value to be traded as you hope to make this a better team. And I think I don't have the free agent list in front of me, but there's quite a lot of people hitting that market, including, if I'm not mistaken, Barbara Olivieri, who gets a 2-year deal starting January. So she's here till, if I do the math right, 2027, right? January.
Yes, be 2027.
So she's here at least for 2 more years. Personally, I don't think she's all that great, but you disagree with me, so which is great.
Oh, I really like Barb.
Yeah, I just haven't seen enough out of her, but she has scored some goals. She has playmaker ability. I just wish she just had more of that drive.
I don't know if I consider her a playmaker. I don't think that's her role.
Yeah, she usually plays more of a like.
She's she kind of plays she's kind of a Coco type player where she's really good at grabbing the ball in midfield and transitioning the play with the ball at her feet. She's not much of a transitional passer, but definitely when it comes to those carries to the midfield, she's great at it. That's kind of her strong suit. I mean, she creates a decent amount of chances as well. She's not like a bum in that sense. And then defensively, she puts in a shift every week. I think she's an 8 that plays both sides of the ball pretty well. You could deploy her a little higher up the field. You could deploy her out wide. She'll do a job because of her work rate. I just think she is an important player to this long-term vision of this team. And she's only 22, so she could get even better.
And proud moment for you, Christian, right there. Katie Kidd. How you like them representing Katie? You had there's been a couple. I think obviously she's from Katie area. We had the goalkeeper, Michael Nelson from Katy area.
Yeah.
Some good players in Katy
I mean,
in general.
Isn't she Venezuelan, right?
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, it's almost a given. If you're from Venezuela and you live in the Houston area, you're 9 times out of 10 you're from Katy. That's what they call it, Katy-suela, at some point. But I mean, I don't know. I guess it's cool that they can have, if this girl turns out to be, a really good player, like better as she progresses, they could do. I'm just thinking marketing, right? Like they could do so much with her, and the city of Houston. She could be a Memo, but hopefully a better player than Memo type thing. I don't know if that makes sense, but I mean, it's an inspiration. Like if you're a girl in the Katy area, in the Houston area, right, looking to play professionally at one point in time in your life, then why not look at her example? And I guess the good thing for her is that she went from Seven Lakes, I think she went, to A&M, which is an hour and a half away, and she came right back home. So she ain't got to go too far.
Yeah, and I put it down here. Houston Dash. They'll be at your home, Joey. New York City, New York, Gotham FC.
Gotham.
September 8th, man, at 12. What are they doing? Conflicting here with the NFL, man.
12?
How many people are gonna watch this?
Oh, I'm not.
I found the name of the guy, by the way.
You what?
I found the name of the guy.
What guy?
The general manager.
Oh.
Was it Juan Pablo what?
Eric Ustruck.
Oh, the goal. Yeah, got you.
Yeah.
The interim.
The Dash haven't won a regular season game since May. See, do they really think that they're going to compete with the NFL and have people watch this game?
And what's crazy is the fact that they played really, really, I would say very good against an undefeated team in Orlando Pride, and they just laid an egg against it.
I think the Kansas City Chiefs have won more games in 2024 than the Dash have, and their season ended in early February.
That's
playing playoff games.
That's insane. Yeah, if that's true, that's insane.
That's pretty.
How many wins is it to win the Super Bowl? Is it 4? 4 playoff wins? Yeah, it is more. They have more wins than the Dash in the year of 2024.
That's so bad. That's a terrible stat.
At this rate, we know there's 8 games left, so that's 24 points left. Still haven't added any yet. I think Joey, you said that you couldn't even see them getting 10. I mean, at this, they're in a rate of getting any.
Who are they going to beat?
Yeah, exactly.
They're going away to Gotham. That's just a loss. I mean, let's be real here.
You know what's crazy? They're only 7 points away from a playoff spot. So they can put like 2 wins in a row. They're like right there.
Yeah, but the thing is, other teams are going to win games in that time.
Well,
they might win 2 games, and the gap's still 5 points. They play Gotham. That's a loss. Washington. Because Bay
FC 7 wins, 11 losses. I mean,
it's crazy.
The Dynamo 3 wins, 10 losses.
I'm trying to think, what teams do they have really much of a chance the rest of the season? I think against Seattle at home, end of September. That's a winnable game.
Yeah, they go to Orlando. That's a loss.
Or wait, Orlando. That's gonna be a thumping. Home against Chicago, maybe, and then home against Bay FC is probably the next winnable game. I don't know. I see everything. It's just all a loss.
It's just bad.
It's bad.
It went from so much hope, so much potential when Juan Carlos was there, making it to the first playoff, which everybody forgets that they got this, beat in the last couple minutes of that playoff game. Again, Kansas City Current beat them 1-0. With about 10,000 people in that stadium. I mean, it was a great atmosphere. I was there. It was fun,
I think I was there.
I don't know. I can't remember. I think Manny was there. But anyways, it was, you felt that, oh man, they'll be here. They'll be back next year. Bro, it's been like 3 years since that year. So it's just it's so deflating. Let me see. We have a comment here. Rushan said 2-1, not 1-0. Oh, yeah, you're right. It was 2-1. It was just the goal came at the end of towards the end of the game because I remember it seemed like it was gonna go to overtime or I think it's overtime. I don't think they go to penalties. I can't remember. It's been such a long time ago. See, my memory only works. What 7 months? You said March. Okay,
There's a limit.
6 months. It's limited, man. It's limited. Vintage. It's not all like right. But yeah. So it's I don't know. I don't know what else we can say about the dash that we haven't said. It's crazy. And poor Chris. He's trying to get into following the dash.
I try, guys.
Yeah,
and
we should probably move on. Yeah, we're just kicking them when they're already dead.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's just pretty bad. So, anyways, I am so sorry if you're a Houston Dash fan. That
honestly, the only winner in the Dash organization is this girl that just got a contract.
Yes.
Other than that,
I would say Ramona Bachman as well because she got like a 3-4 year deal and she's just hanging out.
She just got back right now. Too. She just made it back after like 2 months.
So that's a win for them.
So however they're able to take FMLA and put in some PTO, or as I mentioned before, maybe work remotely as a soccer player. It happens, right? Hybrid. Yeah. It's getting done. So, I mean, you again at this point, if you even want them, oh man, they can go undefeated 9 games. Why? I don't want them in the playoffs. It's such a false sense of hope at this point. But you're right, Joey. This horse has been dead for like 3 months, and we just continue to try to beat this dead horse, man. See if he'll win us a Kentucky Derby. But you know what, Chris? Perfect segment. Perfect time to say goodbye. No, I'm kidding. Tell the people how they can connect with us, man. It's been 27 minutes. And
there you go. Perfect. We're right in the middle of the episode. No, yeah. If you guys are there and still alive, go to BayouCitySoccer.net. That's where you're going to be able to find everything and anything that we do here. Go check out all the special stuff that we're doing. A lot of stuff behind the scenes that hopefully get done, and we'll be moving forward with a bunch of other stuff. We're adding people to the group and getting better every day. So just continue and stay on with us at Bayou City Soccer. The coverage is only going to get better. So check out the social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Hit us up over there. Don't forget, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the little bell button. And, you can join us whenever we do our segment. We're also, we should have a guest soon. So we probably will do that. Man, a lot more, coverage, getting to know the players. Hopefully we'll get a couple more interviews going and we'll see what happens. But BayouCitySoccer.net, and don't forget to check out Ugly Guppy at uglyguppy.com. Check those guys out. They're doing a lot of work. They're back at 100%, after the storm, and they're just busy as ever, but they'll be able to take care of you if you just hit them up and tell them what you need. So that's it.
Yeah. And I'm going to speak it into existence. We have quite a few sponsors coming.
There you go.
Guests have been sent, and we'll be reeling them in soon enough, man, to continue to get, as much exposure for you guys and content. And we are moving away from the dash, but Rushan said, did Maria win? At this point, I don't even know because they're still in really bad shape as well over there in San Diego. She just went to
better weather.
So, she just got a nicer location, per se.
Yeah, she could lose in better weather.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not as hot.
She loses. That's a bad excuse to have. He's like, you have perfect weather. How the hell are you getting destroyed out there?
That's true.
If you're gonna lose, you might as well lose in San Diego.
Yeah,
guys. It is September 3rd. I guess this is gonna be a plug to say that in a month time, man, we're gonna be out at that St. Louis game, Dynamo St. Louis. So just FYI, if you guys are listening to this and you guys are planning to make it out there, and you guys, Joey, did you buy your ticket yet?
Oh, I gotta do that.
All right,
I'm gonna get screwed on that too because it's a balloon fiesta weekend here.
Yes, it
So
is.
those ticket prices are gonna screw me. But you got to do what you got to do.
So worst case scenario, Joey's a maybe. Clearly, Chris and I, we have bought tickets. We already have the hotel that Joey can definitely come and share with us. That's fine.
I'm not a maybe. I'm coming.
All right, there you go. So yeah, if you're out there and you want to hang out with us, let us know. We'll be there pretty damn early on Saturday, and we'll come back something I think midday on Sunday. Chris, we're gonna have to figure out, man. Either you just stay at my house and we drive together, bro. Whatever
Probably,
it may be.
honestly.
That may be the way to go. But anyways, yeah. So just FYI, that's a month from now. Super excited. Man, trying to make the Austin game as well. That one seems a little bit more not gonna happen, but at least for me, Chris, it's like 2 hours from you. It's 4 hours for me. So
I might. My family's gonna be out of town, so I'm gonna be home alone. So, but Boca River is earlier that day, so it's one of those things that I have to. Because originally Boca was playing on Sunday, and today, I think it was today or yesterday, it came out that they're playing on Saturday instead.
At what time?
Like earlier in the day. It's 4 p.m. Well, actually, no, I might be lying because I think it's 4 p.m. in Argentina. Which I guess it's like noonish here, noon or 1 o'clock here. So it might give me some time to make it, but I just don't want to drive by myself. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Let me see.
I'm gonna have to hit some people up. If y'all can scoop me, I'm on the way, literally. So
come on, Chris. I drove to Denver by myself for that game.
But you're a different breed.
It says 3 o'clock. It's a 3 o'clock game.
Boca?
Yeah.
Damn. That's gonna be tight. Or I could just drive to Austin and watch it over there.
Yeah, you can get there early. Rushan says Houston from Houston is 2 hours away. Thank you. Someone understands. I went to the Valley and they were like, oh my God, it's so far away. It's 20 minutes. I'm like, 20 minutes? That just gets me to a major highway from my house. And I'm not anywhere. Like it takes, man.
It literally takes me 20 minutes to go to the freaking grocery store.
Damn.
That's a different
I
thing.
could walk to my grocery store.
Yeah, no. Same.
Everything here is 20 minutes away without fail. Everything. Doesn't matter where
Welcome
you
to
are.
America. That's just the way it is. If you don't live in New York, everything's 20 minutes, 30 minutes away.
My wife just texted me that I'm too loud. So.
Oh, well, relax.
Clearly, almost 10 o'clock. Kids sleeping, next door. Clearly.
That boy said, "I don't want to drive." He gets excited when he talks about driving more than 30 minutes.
Screw that, man. But but anyways, let's go ahead and finish off strong with what was a pretty good LA game against LAFC for the Dynamo. Joey, did you get to watch this one? I know you're having some. It seems like your music career is taking a dwindle, man. What's up with that?
It's on the rails right now. I'm starting over again. Start from scratch.
Hit that Control-Alt-Delete, my friend.
Control Z.
F5.
Update that resume and throw it out there again, man. But
I guess I got to sit down this Saturday and enjoy this lovely game.
Yeah, so we'll start with you, man. We'll start with your thoughts, and then Chris, if you got to watch it. Obviously, I was keeping up more with you guys, and I did get to watch some of it, not the whole game when I got back. But yeah, man, Joey, your thoughts on 2-0 in LA?
See, this performance reminded me a lot of the game against Miami last year in the Cup final, where we just went away to a super team in quotations and just absolutely dominated 90 minutes. It wasn't even close. There was almost not a second of doubt I had in this game, really. It's just the Dynamo came here. They had their game plan. They played it to a T. And LAFC just kind of bent over and took it. It was it was almost obviously there was effort, but it almost looked effortless at times with how dominant the performance was. I don't think there was a single bad performer on the team. I think Artur was a real standout. Kowalczyk really stood out to me. He was ridiculously good in midfield. He was playing really well off the ball with the pressing game. Ponce was absolutely brilliant. Real striker's performance, led the line brilliantly, scored a goal. Very nearly scored a second one with that header. That was a really nice header, too. Great direction on that, good amount of power. Good save from Lloris. He had that moment he took the ball from the guy and beat two men and then shot in. Wasn't the best shot, but like that's just what you want to see from this guy. Just overall really good. They took out all of LAFC's danger men. I mean, I can't after maybe like the first like half hour, I can't remember a single thing that Denny Bouanga did or Christian Oliveira. Yeah, he played. Matisse Bogus, nothing. Giroud came on for the last bunch of minutes. I mean, you'd forget he was even on the field. It just total domination. Brilliant performance.
I agree.
Yeah, obviously, you look at the lineup from LAFC and you're like, man, that's a really good lineup. You know, there's really no excuse for them to not be what they've been doing. Obviously, they've been taking care of business pretty much throughout the season, like they've done their whole history. So just from what I saw, I mean, there's a couple mistakes from Mikael, maybe that he left a couple balls in no man's land and ended up in shots, but nothing really that Clark couldn't really, do something about.
Funny enough, you mentioned that because that's how I felt in the beginning of the game. I saw Mikael kind of whiff a couple balls, but then as the game progressed, he honestly was very, very solid. Him and Shevchenko, they both became like super solid. Honestly, I mean, I don't know if this is extra, but I think it was probably the best game I've ever seen the Dynamo play, like ever, in my eyes, right? All the games that I've seen. Maybe there's other games.
That's a reasonable take.
But I mean, honestly, you guys know that I'm not a build up from the back type guy, right? Like I'm more of a booted and go find the second ball. But this game, honestly,
I didn't know you loved England type of old school.
We got an old head here.
Yeah, I'm very rustic. Like, what was the word you use for your brain? Vintage. I'm vintage.
Vintage. Peppa's scared of you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're like, yeah, we don't match. But this game honestly was one of those games that, if you're a doubter of that type of playing, it kind of made you a believer, right? Like just the way that they were moving the ball around, the way that the ball was just being like swing around, and the easy touches, play what's in front of you type thing, right? Like I remember growing up, that's one of those things that they tell you a lot. Like, don't get too crazy. Just play what's in front of you. If you're facing one direction, play what you see. Don't try to get too crazy, too fancy. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, even I think Achi also kind of had a shaky first few minutes, but then he just became, the Achi we're used to seeing. We talked about it earlier today, I think, with the guys about Arthur. I mean, he could have made the team of the week as well, but obviously he didn't score. He was close. He had some really good shots. I mean, I think if Hugo Lloris wasn't in goal, the Dynamo could have scored at least 4 goals.
Mm-hmm.
If it was another quote unquote mediocre goalkeeper, it would have. I mean, the one that he got from Ponce from the header, that was incredible.
That one's crazy. And even the alley shot, it was obviously not a perfect top 90, but those curlers, they go in, man.
That would have been beautiful.
Jay says he got to watch it.
Great save.
He's in LA supporting Bayou City Soccer from LA, and I hope you didn't wear an LA shirt, man. I hope that you.
I hope you didn't pull the Manny.
Yeah, we know a guy. We know a guy.
We know a guy.
No, but yeah, I mean, it was a very good game, and it was very incredible the way they played, which obviously ends up giving Ezequiel Ponce and Franco Escobar team of the match. That you mentioned, Arthur, to me, it was incredible that Eric Sviatchenko reached out to our Instagram and was like, man, I did what he put. Let me see. We were reading word
what
for
do
word
I need
here.
to do? No, but that's the crazy part. While you look it up, that's the crazy part. Like, easily 9 out of the 11 guys that played on the field could have, been these two guys that we see on the screen right now.
Right.
Everybody just played a really, really almost a perfect match. Honestly, the only player that maybe didn't, other than the one shot, was Aliyu.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do see what Aliyu brings to the table, and you guys know my stance on him. But obviously, I don't think it was the night for him. Obviously, the ball was being played a lot from
yeah,
the
he was
side.
for sure the weakest link in the match.
But you can tell as soon as obviously the switch happened. I mean, obviously the balls were just going through Dorsey most of the time.
Here, let me before I get too far in. Eric said, "How is it possible to get into that team? 2-0 away and a clean sheet and an assist and first recorded finish after 57 minutes. It's apparently impossible." Laughing faces. I mean, hell, man, Joey, you mentioned that all the midfielders basically you have to score a goal if you want to make it into the dang thing.
Yeah. No, Artur not being in there is an absolute joke. I mean, you just look at Artur. Hold up, let me. Artur.
Yeah, he was the best. Football has him as the best player on the field that game.
Right, here's what Artur did in this game. He had 116 touches, 6 tackles, an interception. Completed 93.5 of his passes, 5 progressive passes. Like, come on. That's as dominant as you could get from a 6.
Yep.
6 tackles against that LAFC midfield. Come on. That's crazy.
All right, Joey, this one's for you. Jay says, what did you think about Sevas K? So what do you think about Kowalczyk this past game?
I think that was his best game in a Dynamo shirt.
Agree.
Really. That was fantastic.
Originally on that first goal from Ponce, I thought he set him up, but he never touched that ball, did he?
No, he did not.
Like Angles made it look like he touched the ball.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But it was deflected by the defender and it landed right to Ponce. Escobar, I'm gonna keep calling him Escobar, bro. It's the Argentinian look. They look the same.
I keep calling him Franco.
They do look very similar. I remember when we first signed Kowalczyk, I did that article talking about his football manager stats, and I'm like looking at this guy, and I was like, this dude needs to play in Coco's role on the right, that inverted winger role where he comes into midfield as a 10. And they finally give him a start out there after a pretty long while, and man, it at the top of that diamond, man, he was so good. His passing was super crisp. He created loads of shots. He was everywhere. Off the ball, he made a really nice tackle at one point. The way he was combining with Dorsey to attack spaces, and they're on the same page defensively. It was just really, really damn good. And that's a tough job to play. Right winger against the LAFC when you got Denny Bouanga running at you and Ryan Hollingshead supplying him. That's a tough matchup. And he was just brilliant. He was almost faultless, I thought.
It's funny because just thinking back, to the Toronto game. It was the same game. It was a Dynamo trying to look for that first goal, like they did here, right? They scored in the thing like the 25th, 26th minute of the game, and then they come back and make that interesting sub, which in this case was Aliyu. Did Aliyu come out? Yeah, it was Aliyu and Anali, right? Is that who came in?
Yeah, it was the two of them.
So it was the fact that we talked about this, with in particular with the Toronto match on the preview was, what you want to do is tire those guys out, score an early goal, and then you bring in somebody like Anali that can come in and go at tire legs. And they did absolutely that. And that's how they got that second goal was incredible. I mean, you can see the pace that Anali has, and he's able to just literally fly by the defenders, gets I think he did 1 touch or 2 touches to go around Lloris as well to score the goal. Which the shot itself was a little like unorthodox. He could have easily not, made that in, but Nali just obviously showed his skill, and unfortunately for him, it didn't last long because after scoring 15 minutes later, pretty gruesome in the sense of I mean, you're trying to just defend. It's non-contact injury. The way he reacted, you just knew it was bad, and
you knew it was ACL right away.
And just thinking back of like this guy just in general, take his story, right? He's been with the club 2 months. He's been with the Dynamo, so you come in, not even right, not even 2 months.
It feels like it's less. Yeah,
but it's like you come in, young kid, tries to make something out of himself in a new league, plays decent, in Leagues Cup, debuts recently, scores an MLS goal, and again, not even 2 months in, and then it's over for a bit for him. Obviously they made it official that he had a tore ACL on his right knee, and it's just sad. It's just, again, it's a bag of emotions because you're obviously hyped that he just scored a really good goal that you haven't seen in a while. Who scored a goal like that in a long time? I mean, at least
Kyoto, yeah, back in that day,
like that type of goal of like just
Manotas could score that too.
Yeah, and so it's just it's sad, and obviously the season's not over by any means. I don't think Inali makes or breaks the team right now. I mean, it was a great what's it called, a great player to have, but
he wasn't starting anytime soon.
Yeah, it was a great 1-2 punch, as I called it at one point. But you don't have that now. You got Coco back; he's healthy again. Arsu could be an option. Silla could be an option. I mean,
I don't think we see either of them.
One thing that we mentioned was the fact that there really hasn't been any injuries, other than obviously Quinones, who's been out the whole season. But there hasn't been enough injuries, which great, right? Knock on wood. But for Ben Olsen to have to make those decisions of giving some guys opportunities. But what's your thoughts on that, Chris? Just obviously the injury to Inali, and what would you expect for the games to come for the Dynamo without him?
I mean, let me just say this first. I know that maybe some of the guys don't agree with me, but obviously the field conditions at LAFC, and I agree some of the guys with the chat, it was trash. It was trash. I understand that there's probably nothing's gonna happen out of this. And obviously, I think we're mad because it happened to one of our guys, and maybe somebody that was, that we thought could have a promising future, right, with us, maybe towards the end of the season, maybe hopefully into the playoffs and stuff like that. And just to have an injury just because his foot got caught in the field, that it was terrible. I don't know if you guys remember what Joey was watching, you weren't, Rudy, or you guys in the chat. There was a point that there was a play close to the area, to the box of LAFC, and like the field kind of went up, and then the referee went to like try to tap it down, and he couldn't put it back in his place, and he just like looked into the bench like, I don't know what to do, like this is just gonna stay like this, and they just played on like that. There was a giant, like I felt like I was playing when you go to like those pickup matches with like your buddies, and those fields, and the guy, he bought just a bunch of patches of like football fields, and like the 50 is like meshed with the 30, and like all the pieces are coming off, and you just got to be careful where you step because you have to go to work the next day, and you can't afford twisting your ankle type shit. And then you're like, bro, this is the LAFC, like, and I understand, Manny, we talked about it like 2 weeks ago when we were watching an LAFC game, and the field was shit. Mm-hmm. And they were playing a really important game, and you're like, bro, this is LAFC. And he was like, well, they had a bunch of concerts and this and that, and you're like I understand, obviously, make your money, right? I don't know how the situation works. I don't know who owns the stadium and what they do, but if you're gonna have like professional soccer games there, at least try to take care of it or somehow. And I know that this is gonna fall on deaf ears, because that's just the way that it is. But we even heard it. Was it the World Cup or no, Copa America, when everybody was complaining about the pitches here in the United States, and it was kind of almost the same thing. the fields were brand new, barely like laid down, and people were like, well, the grass is new, but they're not meshed together. Like there's lines between the patches of grass type thing. But other than that, sad that the kid, being so young, he has to go through this early on. Good thing is that he's young. He's going to be able to recover from this. But it's just, it's sad as I'm sure, Pat and Ash are pissed off because they're like, he's just out there spending a little bit of cash on a promising guy. And, obviously unfortunate, but what are you going to do about it, right? You just kind of put your head down, move on. And maybe this will open the opportunity window to X or Natsu. So who'll see?
Yeah.
That's
hilarious.
I really just don't think we see RC this season.
Possibly not.
I think it goes.
Possibly not.
I think, well, now that Coco's back, I think Coco starts on the right.
Well, what about what Rishon said? Gaines for Aliyu?
I think Gaines probably goes to third choice now.
Right.
On the left wing, because I think they put Blessing as the backup at the left wing now.
I could see that.
Could be.
I could see that. I think
or Brad Smith.
Oh Jesus. The Brad
favorite
experience. Hey, I mean, if he's coming in,
you got to give credit to Brad Smith. He's had some damn good games off the bench.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you don't want him to start by any means, but if he comes off the bench like he's done in the past and scored really against Colorado, in the last minutes, I mean, yeah, that's what you want.
DC gave me
that's what Anali was doing.
I would say, I want to see Gaines play too.
Yeah, Gaines would be one too. Obviously, a guy that came in on his debut and got injured.
Yeah, that sucks too.
Yeah, and we didn't see much of him anymore.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Anali over Aliyu takes in this, and that's just nonsense.
Well, at this point,
I agree with that. So
it's such nonsense. Aliyu is going to be the starter the rest of the year anyway. That's nonsense, guys.
I mean, that's a given, right? But personally, I think Anali could offer a lot more than Aliyu. And obviously, we know, the whole going back to the conversation of the system, and obviously Aliyu fits better in that system. But I think eventually, Anali was going to take over. Obviously, now it just kind of switches things up. The way that I see it, I think, in my mind, Pat is like finding a way to move Aliyu out in a way. I think. He could be. He is a promising player. I'm not saying he's bad. He's good. Me personally, I just don't like him. Not as a person, but as a player.
Something about his face, man.
No, just to play. He seems like a really nice guy too. Like he's very humble. Like when we see him in the back of the house, he's very nice. He's always saying hi to everybody. He doesn't talk to people because he's just the shy guy, and his English is not the greatest. But he's a very nice guy, very respectful. Mm-hmm. Like you can tell the guy is a really nice guy. Just
I like his press conferences.
Yeah,
they're very short.
They're very short and to the point. Yeah. But I think Aliyu was the man for that position personally, and obviously now you're not going to see it.
I think the last time we heard of Aliyu was in the beginning of the season when they did that big round table that they did like pretty much every player. If you remember that, guys.
Yeah.
And I think Maggie actually asked him like a question, and he just kept saying, "I'm gonna do my best."
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm pretty sure that was the last time I heard Aliyu at a press conference, and
he had one last year too that was funny. I don't remember what the question was, but he kept going, "Huh? What?"
He's great. I really would love to talk to him, but
some teenage Davey vibes.
No, even teenage, I think it gave you a little bit longer of an answer, man.
But the way that they had like those little, like he would just start with like, and then he would like talk. Yeah.
Teenage is funny. I like. Oh, shout out to Teenage. He's about to win MLS Cup this year, my man.
Yeah, and I don't know why I didn't put this picture earlier, but
yeah, that's such a sad picture.
Yeah, why did they choose this picture?
Yeah, like it's like this man died,
and and I forgot to say, I mean, like all the same thing. The mixed emotions. Obviously, this guy comes in, he's hyped up, like he's had a good game. He misses the penalty, gets the Dynamo eliminated, from Leagues Cup. He gets the debut, and then scores a goal, and then tears some ligaments, man. Talk about a shelf life, for God's sakes, man. That's he lived. I think some flies live longer than that. It's crazy. It's crazy. Poor guy, man. Yeah, and again, LAFC, the back-to-back games. They'll be visiting Shell Energy Stadium September 7th, 7:30 p.m.
Easy win.
Yeah, they have a ton
Easy
of players
win.
out. What's up, Chris?
No, kind of going back to what Jay Hurtado and the other guy I can't see. Big Bites are asking about Quinones. He was back in training, right? Or am I tripping?
Rehab.
He's on rehab still, but
Okay.
yes, he's
moving.
He's moving.
He's moving. That's good.
Function.
I'm not no doctor.
That was a
but
nasty.
I'm not a doctor, but he looked funky when he was moving. So I think he still has a ways to go.
Yeah, he's not playing this season. He was already on the
No.
season-ending injuries.
He's not back in cleats. Purely
even if he's cleared like
indoors.
for MLS Cup, he still can't play. He's not eligible.
Yeah, because he's not
Really?
on the squad.
Yeah. Once you're put on the season-ending injury list, you can't come back on, and that's why they're able to make Exxon Arsu U22 to fill in for that spot, so they could save a bunch of TAM for the season.
Well, I know this is highly improbable, but Joey, you like stats and
Rushan said he's in Crocs for now. Hey, man, that sounds like an insult, man. I just
I'm
bought
wearing
me
Crocs
some
right now.
Crocs.
I'm literally wearing Crocs right now. But yeah, you say that maybe Exxon doesn't get in or doesn't crack, and I can see why, because there's so many guys in the roster that could take that spot. But what do if you had to put a number on it, what do you think the percentage of maybe Arsu getting a couple minutes or seeing any playing
what
time
a great
is?
question.
Percentage of him seeing minutes. How many games are left?
9.
7, 8, or 9.
No, 8 games.
8 games left. Are we including playoffs here?
Why
No,
not?
that's not including playoffs, but yes.
I don't think they throw him in
be
playoffs.
playoffs.
If he doesn't, so he's back in training. So let's say he comes back, say another 2-3 weeks off. So that brings us to like the Vancouver game. He plays.
They're pretty hard matches too. They're not easy.
These are tough games. Plays a game or two with Dose, I'm sure. And let's say
maybe against New England.
Let's give it a 15% chance he sees minutes in the regular season, and I think if he does play, it'll probably be against New England or the Galaxy.
What if we see him at St. Louis, man? What if we go to
that'd
St.
be
Louis?
awesome.
He gets like 15 minutes and he scores like a
7 goals.
Yeah.
Who's their right back? Jake Nerwinski.
Who cares,
Nerwinski's
man?
gonna get toasted, man.
I've seen how fast Arsu is.
He's pretty quick. And the one thing that since we're talking about players, he's very like going one-on-one with defenders, which is something that we don't see often, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just going literally forward and trying to juke them out. And I mean, if you're gonna be that guy trying to impress, why not? If you only get 15 minutes of fame, just try as many times as you can to get over that defender.
We're gonna speak it into existence, man.
Ali used to try to do that until he Ben probably yelled at him a bunch of times until the play's safer.
That's true.
Well, that's Ali.
Oh man,
the team plays better for it.
All right, my guys, this has been a great episode. We're literally about to hit an hour. So, anything else that we miss? Anything you guys want to add? Feel free. Right. This is the time to do it.
Let
Chris,
me add.
Joey.
All right, so the LAFC, this game they're going to be without Oliveira, Bogus, Bouanga, David Martinez, Maxim Shino, and Omar Campos. That is 4 starting 11 players. So I think the Dynamo are going to thwomp them 3-1.
3-1.
That's close.
3-1.
That's close.
Chris,
you know what's crazy? Me and Dustin, going into these matches, we were like, man, we're going to get murdered.
0 points.
But that was because of the Toronto game, right?
I said 3 points, right? I think I said 3 points.
You said 3 points.
Yeah, I thought we'd lose 1, win 1. It could still happen.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we like Ben said, right? They did come from a bunch of devastating losses, right? A lot of like slaps on the face, and this one's probably, I don't know, it's not the worst one because it's not for a title, but losing at home after not losing a lot at home and literally getting dominated. I mean, the Dynamo is a good team, so there's no shame in that.
Yeah, we're the only team besides Columbus that's beaten them in a very long time.
Yeah. So I mean, we're the Dynamo's in good company, right? But yeah, they're rested for a week. They're able to kind of come down.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think who Joey said, there's a bunch of guys missing that are key
like
players
6
for
players,
them.
Yeah.
I don't think we have any missing at all. So
Xavier Valdez, but I mean, third string goalkeeper.
Coco didn't get called up, right? Because I think
he didn't. He didn't.
No, because of the injury, maybe.
The injury, yeah.
Things are Xavier.
So, hey, let's I
take advantage of it.
Yeah, exactly.
But knowing the Dynamo, they may lay an egg, and we'll be kicking ourselves on next Tuesday, man. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, before I let you tell the people how they can connect with us, man, just want to shout out to all the people here on YouTube watching us and sending your comments. Great. Thanks for the interaction, man. Really appreciate it. You guys know that we're here pretty much every Tuesday, 9:00 Central. So we're here to have fun. I would highly suggest that, again, if I'm sure that because you're on YouTube, you already are subscribed to the YouTube. But if you're not, do it. And if you listen to a podcast, man, go in there, subscribe to it, like it, send a review. It'll go a long way. It'll make me feel good, it'll make Chris feel good if you give him a shout out too. So, man, really appreciate the love you guys give us, man. Again, we'll continue to bring some great content your way. We do have a lot of ideas that we're putting together. Hey, this is Bayou City Soccer, man. Joey, thanks again for joining us. No New Mexico game this weekend?
This weekend? They did play. They lost.
Yeah.
They lost.
Was it at home?
No, it was away. They lost 1-0.
Are they playing this
New Mexico has become our new USL team since RGV ceased to exist.
They're playing they're playing Miami on Friday. Ooh, at home. Hey,
you're gonna go watch that game?
Go to that. Hey,
8:00 Central.
What's his face is on that team?
Maples.
Left back. No. In Miami.
Miami.
Young guy.
I'm in Miami Beach.
From the academy.
Young guy from the academy. Mujib Morana.
Morana.
Really?
Morana's in Miami. Yep.
Yeah, he's in Miami.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
He had gone to where did he go? He went to Tulsa. I guess he didn't make the team there.
He went to Birmingham. That's where he went.
Birmingham too?
Yeah, he was in Birmingham for a bit.
They suck.
So Maples versus Morana.
Dang.
It's literally the best team in the league against the worst team in the league. Or or not best team, but third best team in the league, points wise, against the worst team in the league. Y'all should murder them.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well,
I don't know. New Mexico is a weird thing. Like they win a lot of games, but they never just like smash people. It's always a close game.
We did see
really weird.
A couple people wearing New Mexico shirts at the Dash game, not this weekend, last weekend, and I was gonna give them Bayou City Soccer stickers and take a picture for you, Joey. We're gonna do it for you, and I lost sight of them, and I couldn't find them. I had to get the stickers from my backpack, man. I came back, I was too damn slow, man.
Yeah, one job, bro.
But you know what? I'll look for them again. I was like, dang, New Mexico.
They'll show up again.
They'll show up again.
What was it? It was a Dash game, right?
Yeah, I feel bad.
Oh, they're not coming back.
Hopefully they don't. Oh man, but Chris, man, tell the people how they can connect with us so we can shut this down.
Yes, sir. If you guys haven't yet, go check out BayouCitySoccer.net. That's our website. That's where we're going to have all the content and everything that we write and do over there. Go check us out. If not, check out our social media. There's links there and Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the YouTube channel, of course. Just give us a shout out there. And once again, shout out to Ugly Guppy for helping us out with everything that we do. And hopefully we'll name new people. So help us out, guys. And thank you so much for listening and hope y'all have a great week.
Yep. Don't forget to hold it down and keep it forever.